Hello viewers, I am Deepthi Hans. Today we are going to discuss ICSE Specimen Question Paper 2023 Chemistry Science Paper 2 Section B. In question number 3, first part is identify the anion present in each of the following compound. In part A, when barium chloride solution is added to a solution of compound B, a white precipitate insoluble in dilute hydrochloric acid is formed. You might have read this reaction in double decomposition when barium chloride is added to sodium sulfate, then a white precipitate of barium sulfate is formed along with NaCl. You need not to write the whole equation. They just asked you to identify the anion. So anion present here is sulfate. In B part of this first part, when dilute sulfuric acid is added to compound D, a gas is produced which turns lime water milky but has no effect on acidified potassium dichromate solution. So when dilute sulfuric acid is added to, we know that there carbonate or bicarbonate is present here. So sodium carbonate, then sodium sulfate along with water and carbon dioxide gas is produced. And this carbon dioxide gas, when produced, it turns lime water milky but has no effect on acidified potassium dichromate solution. So the indication of anion here is carbonate. So you just need to write these anions. Here sulfate and here carbonate. In second part, write the products and balance the equation. Reactants are sulfur along with nitric acid. Concentrated it is given. So we know that when we are taking concentrated nitric acid, then sulfuric acid is formed along with water and nitric oxide. So for balancing, we need to add 2 and then 6 HNO3. In B part, zinc sulfide and HCl is given as reactants. So we know zinc chloride is formed along with hydrogen sulfide gas. For balancing, we need to add here 2 is chlorine and hydrogen, so just add 2 here. So zinc sulfide and 2HCl gives ZnCl2 plus H2S, hydrogen sulfide. In part number 3, arrange the following as per the instruction given in the bracket. In A part, sodium, potassium, chlorine, silicon and sulfur are given. Increasing order of electronegativity, we have to arrange them. We know that electronegativity decreases down the group and increases across the period. So their increasing order is potassium, sodium, silicon, sulfur and chlorine. Their electronegativity is 0.8, 0.9, 1.8, 2.5 and 3. We need not to mention these electronegativities there, just number them. In B part, increasing order of metallic character, beryllium, lithium, fluorine, carbon, boron, nitrogen and oxygen. So their increasing order is first of all fluorine, halogen family, then oxygen, then nitrogen, then carbon, then boron, then beryllium and the last lithium. We know that all these are non-metals. Boron is a metalloid and beryllium and lithium are metals. And lithium is the most metallic element here. So this is the increasing order. In C part, increasing order of atomic size. We know that atomic size increases down the group. So here bromine, fluorine, iodine and chlorine are given. So the smallest of them is fluorine, then chlorine, then bromine and then iodine. In fourth part, fill in the blank selecting the appropriate word from the given choice. In a covalent compound, the bond is formed due to dash of electrons, sharing or transfer. We all know that this is sharing of electrons, because if it is transfer of electron, then bond formed is electrovalent or ionic. In B part, a molecule which has a single lone pair of electron among ammonia and water. We know that ammonia has one lone pair because water, oxygen has two lone pairs. In C part, electrovalent compounds do not conduct electricity in their molten state. They conduct, not conduct, it means solid state. So these are the Phillips. In question number 4, part 1 is, for each of the substances given below, what is the role played in the extraction of aluminium? First is cryolite. We know that cryolite is used in Hall-Héroult process for the electrolytic reduction of fused alumina. So what is its purpose? It lowers the fusion temperature from 2050 to 950 degrees Celsius and at the same time it enhances conductivity. Second, in B part, what is the role of graphite? Thick rods of graphite are suspended in fused electrolyte so that it gets oxidized by oxygen evolved at the anode and it should be replaced. It means to prevent the liberation of oxygen so that aluminium is not oxidized by oxygen. In second part, calculate in a gas cylinder is filled with hydrogen and it holds 5 gram of gas. The same cylinder holds 85 gram of gas X under same temperature and pressure. Calculate the vapor density of gas X. We know that vapor density of gas X is equal to, we know the formula, mass of gas at STP, gas X at STP divided by mass of equal volume of hydrogen, and mass of given gas X is 85 and equal volume of hydrogen is 5 gram. So therefore it means 17. So the vapor density of gas X is 17. Give the empirical formula also. This is the B part of the same second part. Empirical formula of CH3COOH. Calculate carbon, they are 2, hydrogen, they are 4 and oxygen, they are 2. It means empirical formula is CH2O. In part number 3, the following questions are pertaining to the laboratory preparation of hydrogen chloride gas. In A part, write a balanced chemical equation for its preparation mentioning the condition required for laboratory preparation of HCl. So we know two reactions are there. One is NaCl plus H2SO4, concentrated H2SO4. If the temperature is less than 200 degrees Celsius, then NaHSO4, sodium bisulfate, is formed along with HCl. So this is the first method of laboratory preparation. And if this NaHSO4 along with NaCl is reacted again above 200 degrees Celsius, then sodium sulfate is formed along with HCl. In B part, why is concentrated nitric acid not used in the preparation of hydrogen chloride gas? Because we know that concentrated nitric acid is volatile. Therefore, it may volatilize along with the hydrogen chloride produced over there. In C part, how is hydrogen chloride gas collected? It is collected by upward displacement of air. Because we know that it is heavier than air. In fourth part, explain the following. In A, concentrated nitric acid appears yellow when it is left standing in a glass bottle. So pure concentrated nitric acid is colorless, but if left standing in a glass bottle, yellow color is due to the dissolution of reddish brown colored nitrogen dioxide, which is produced due to the thermal decomposition of a portion of nitric acid. So HNO3, when decomposes, it produces nitrogen dioxide, and this color is due to this gas only. In B part, an inverted funnel is used to dissolve hydrogen chloride gas in water. So funnel provides a large surface area for absorption of HCl, and then second is it prevents back suction of water. In C part, all apparatus made of glass is used in laboratory preparation of nitric acid because nitric acid vapors attack rubber and cork. In question number 5, part 1, A is state one property of ammonia demonstrated in fountain experiments. So this property is high solubility of ammonia in water. In B part, give the ionic equation when ammonium hydroxide is dissolved in water. Ammonium hydroxide, when dissolved in water, it means aqueous form, then ammonium and hydroxide get dissociates. So, ionic equation, here you can see ammonium cation and hydroxide anion is produced, or you may say hydroxyl anion is produced, and ion water attraction overcomes this attraction between ions, so they dissociates. In second part, name a probable cation present based on the following observation. So first is reddish brown precipitate insoluble in ammonium hydroxide. So we know that Fe3+, it means ferric ion. In B part, blue colored sulfate solution is formed. So blue color is due to copper. It means cupric ion. In third part, give balanced chemical equation for the following. First is laboratory preparation of methane from sodium acetate. So sodium acetate or sodium ethanoate, you may say CH3COONA plus NaOH, calcium oxide at a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius produces Na2CO3 sodium carbonate along with methane. In B part, preparation of ethane from 1,2-dibromoethane. So ethane, it means CH2 along with CH2 Br. 1,2-dibromoethane, or this is methylene dibromide. You can also write ethylene dibromide plus 2 KOH at a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. If we are boiling, then CH triple bond CH. It means ethine is produced along with 2 KBr and 2 molecules of water. 2 molecules of water along with 2 KBr. In third part, ethene reacting with chlorine. So ethene is CH2, ene means double bond, CH2, chlorine molecule. It means 1,2-dichloroethane. 1,2-dichloroethane is produced here. In fourth part, state one relevant observation for each of the following reactions. When excess ammonia is passed through an aqueous solution of lead nitrate, a white precipitate of lead hydroxide is formed, which is soluble in excess of ammonia. In B part, copper sulfate solution is electrolyzed using copper electrodes. Then blue color of aqueous copper 2 sulfate solution remains unchanged. Blue color remains unchanged during electrolysis because cupric ion is produced at anode and therefore total number of cupric ions remains same. So blue color does not fade here. In C part, ammonium hydroxide is added to ferrous sulfate solution. Reddish brown colored FeOH thrice iron hydroxide is produced, which is insoluble in excess of ammonium hydroxide. Coming to question number 6, first part is define. First is Gay-Lussac's law of combining volume. We know when gases react, this law is valid only for gases. For solids and liquids, we take it as zero, volume as zero. When gases react, they do so in volumes, which bear a simple ratio to one another and to the volume of the gaseous product, provided, it means it is a condition that all the volumes are measured at the same temperature and pressure. Second definition is vapor density. It is the density of a particular gas or vapor relative to that of hydrogen at the same temperature and pressure. So this is vapor density. In second part, we are using this law. Solve 1200 cc of oxygen was burnt with 300 cc means cubic centimeter of ethane. Calculate the volume of the unused oxygen and volume of carbon dioxide. Two parts we need to solve here. Given equation is 2C2H6 plus ethane and 7 oxygen gives 4 carbon dioxide and 6 water. So here you can see 2 volume, 7 volume and 4 volume of carbon dioxide, and this is nil. In first part, calculate the volume of unused oxygen. So we know that 2 volume of ethane and require 7 volume of oxygen here. So 2 volume of ethane requires 7 volume of oxygen. So it means 1 volume of ethane requires 7 upon 2, and given volume is 300 cubic centimeter of ethane requires 7 upon 2 multiply 300. It means 150 multiplied by 7, 1050 cubic centimeter of oxygen is required. So remaining, it means unused oxygen. Unused oxygen, because given oxygen is 1250 cubic centimeter. So we require only 1050. It means unused is 200 cubic centimeter of oxygen is unused. So answer is 200 cubic centimeter of oxygen. In second part, they asked us the volume of carbon dioxide produced. Now 2 volume of ethane, it means C2H6, produces. We need to write produces. How much volume? 4 volume. 4 volume of carbon dioxide. So if we are taking 1 volume of this, then 4 upon 2, it means 2, and given is 300 cubic centimeter of HCl, it produces 2 into 300. It means 600 cubic centimeter of carbon dioxide is produced. So when we are taking the reactant side, then we need to write requires, and if we are taking the product side, then we need to write produces. 2 volume produces 4, then 300 produces 600 cubic centimeter of carbon dioxide. In part number 3, state the conditions required for the following reactions. Conversion of sulfur dioxide to sulfur trioxide. We need to write the condition. So sulfur dioxide plus oxygen, vanadium pentoxide is used here at a 450 degrees Celsius. You just need to write these, and then sulfur trioxide is formed here. In B part, conversion of ammonia to nitric acid is written here, but ideally it should be nitric oxide because it is of 1 mark only. So conversion of ammonia to nitric oxide, NH3 plus 5 molecules of oxygen, then 4 of ammonia in the presence of platinum catalyst at 800 degrees Celsius produces 4 nitric oxide and 6 molecules of water, and heat is also liberated. If we go with the flow of question, then we need to produce nitric acid, then 2 steps are also there. It means nitric oxide and oxygen gives 2 molecules of nitrogen dioxide, then 4 molecules of nitrogen dioxide with 2 molecules of water, and oxygen again produces 4 molecules of HNO3. Ostwald process, you need to write all the three equations if we go with the given question here. In C part, conversion of nitrogen to ammonia. So N2 plus 3H2, famous Haber process, to NH3, and heat is also evolved. Conditions are 450 to 500 degrees Celsius temperature. Pressure is above 200 atmosphere. Catalyst is used here is finely divided iron. We have already discussed in part A also. And then promoter is molybdenum. More emphasis should be laid on the conditions given in these reactions because they asked us conditions. So these are the conditions, these are the conditions, and these all are the conditions of Haber's process. In last fourth part, choose the role played by concentrating sulfuric acid as A, B and C, which is responsible for the reactions. Three reactions are given. In first reaction, NaNO3 plus sulfuric acid produces NaHSO4 and nitric acid. So here, sulfuric acid is acting as a non-volatile acid. We know this property, and here this is given at B point. So our answer is B. In second part, second reaction is given as copper sulfate along with 5 molecules of water producing CuSO4 separate and water. So it means here sulfuric acid is acting as a dehydrating agent. And this is given at a position C. In next part, sulfur plus sulfuric acid gives SO2 and water. So here sulfuric acid is acting as a oxidizing agent. And this is A. So B, C and A is the correct order. Coming to question number 7, find the empirical formula and molecular formula of an organic compound from the data given below. So we need to draw the table over here. First element, then percentage composition, then atomic mass, then atomic ratio, and then simplest ratio. Elements given in this are carbon, hydrogen and nitrogen, and their percentage composition is 75.92, 6.32 and then 17.76. 17.76 is the percentage composition given of nitrogen. Atomic mass we know carbon 12, hydrogen 1 and nitrogen 14. So atomic ratio is 75.92 divided by 12, it means 6.326. In this 6.32 divided by 1, it means 6.32. In third, 17.76 divided by 14 and it gives 1.268. Now simplest ratio, it means divide by the smallest, and smallest is 1.268. So 6.326 divided by 1.268, it means it is giving 4.9. Approximately we can write 5 over here. In second, 6.32 divided by 1.268, it means 5. And then last 1.268 divided by 1.268, it means 1. So empirical formula of this compound is C5H5 and N. C5H5 and then nitrogen is 1. So C5H5N. Now we know the formula molecular weight is equal to N into empirical formula weight. So molecular formula is again equal to 2 into vapor density because in the numerical vapor density is given. So N into empirical formula is C5H5N nitrogen. So their empirical formula weight is for carbon it is 5 into 12, for hydrogen 5 into 1, and for nitrogen 14. So in total this comes out to be 60 plus 5 plus 14 n. It means 79. And here vapor density is 39.5. It means again it is equal to 79. 39.5 multiplied by 2. So it is 79. So at the end 79 is equal to n into 79. It means n is equal to 79 divided by 79. It means 1. So empirical formula is equal to molecular formula over here. So our answer is molecular formula as well as empirical formula is C5H5N. It means pyridine. In second part, identify the functional group in the following organic compounds. First is HCHO. HCHO is formaldehyde. Or you can say methanol. It means which group is present here? Aldehyde. In B part, C2H5COOH. It means propanoic acid. So which group is? Carboxylic acids. So these are the name of the groups. In part number 3, during the electrolysis of copper 2 sulfate solution using platinum as cathode and graphite as anode, we know that platinum and graphite both are inert electrodes. So A part state what do you observe at the cathode. At the cathode, copper or you can say cupric ions discharge in preference to hydronium ions to form neutral copper atoms, or pink or reddish brown copper is deposited there. Second, state the change noticed in the electrolyte. Blue color of cupric ions in the electrolyte solution fades. And then state the reaction at the cathode. Cu2 plus 2 electrons, gain of electrons and copper atom is produced. It means reduction occurs at cathode. In fourth part, choose the answer from the list which fits the description. In first part, they have asked us a basic oxide. So calcium oxide is a basic oxide because metal oxides are basic in nature. In B part, an oxide which is acidic. So carbon dioxide is a non-metallic oxide, so it is acidic in nature. In C part, an alkali, basic hydroxide. It means NaOH. We know NaOH and KOH are strong alkalis. So basic hydroxide. Rest of the iron hydroxide is given, which is a weak base, and carbon monoxide is given, which is neither acidic nor basic. So first answer is calcium oxide, second is carbon dioxide, and third is NaOH. In last question number 8, first part is draw the electron dot structure for the following. First is hydronium ion, H3O plus hydronium ion. For this we need water and then hydrated proton. It gives hydronium ion. We know this is lone pair left over here. This is covalent bond, this is covalent bond, and this is dative bond formed by oxygen and hydrogen. And plus sign is must. Second, CH4, it means methane we need to draw. So before combination, this is carbon and these are 4 outermost electrons of carbon and 1 is hydrogen, 1 electron of all the hydrogens over here. Before combination, we need to place plus sign here, and after combination, this is bond formed in between them. So there are 4 covalent bond formed between carbon and hydrogen. In second part, distinguish between the following as directed. First is sodium carbonate and sodium sulfate by using dilute HCl. So sodium carbonate Na2CO3 with dilute HCl, if we are using, then NaCl is produced, water, and along with carbon dioxide gas is produced. So in this case, If we treat with dilute HCl, then carbon dioxide gas is formed. In the question, it is given that sodium sulfate by using dilute HCl. If we use sodium sulfate with dilute HCl, then H2SO4 is producing along with NaCl, but this reaction will go in the opposite direction. So according to me, this reaction is not possible. Sulfate is not possible. So I am taking sulfite over here. I am taking sodium sulfite along with HCl, dilute HCl. Then NaCl is produced along with water, and here sulfur dioxide gas is produced. So this is the distinction between the products over here. In B part, ammonium sulfate and sodium sulfate by using calcium hydroxide. If we use calcium hydroxide along with ammonium sulfate and heat them, then calcium sulfate is producing along with water and ammonia gas is released. And if we are using sodium sulfate along with calcium hydroxide, then ammonia gas will not liberate over here. In part number 3, name the particles present in. First is strong electrolyte. We know the electrolyte is strong only when it has only free mobile ions. Free mobile ions. Second is weak electrolyte. It means ions as well as molecules are present. And C part, non-electrolyte, it means it has only molecules. In fourth part, an element X has atomic number 17. 17, it means KLM, 2 electrons in K shell, 8 in L and 7 in M shell. In A part, state the period and group to which it belongs. So period, it means how many shells are there? 1, 2, 3. So it is period number 3. And group, how many electrons in the outermost shell? 7. So group is 17, or you can say halogen family. In B part, is it a metal or a non-metal? Because in the outermost shell 7 electrons are present, so it is a non-metal. All halogens are non-metals. In C part, write the formula between X and hydrogen. Now X is this, although we know that this is chlorine, but in the answer we need to write X. So X minus, because it needs 1 electron to complete its octet, and hydrogen. So H plus. So the formula in between them is HX, like HCl. But we need to write X over here. So HX is the formula in between them. With this, we come to the end of chemistry specimen paper. Keep watching, sharing and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching till the end. Thank you.